Hey everybody, welcome back to the Weather Forecast Center. This is John, and today this evening we are going to talk about one thing, and that is the potentially two tropical systems that could hit the U.S. this week. I have up the GFS model, the recent run, and this run and the last run has a totally different solution than the runs that I've been showing you. So I'm going to walk you through and tell you what is different. We're starting here 8 a.m. on Monday, and you can see there's a piece of energy right here in the Bay of Campeche. But now they're picking up on a piece of energy here in the Caribbean. As we go forward, this starts to tighten up and starts developing um, a low pressure center, and so does this one. This one closes off and gets a low pressure system. Totally different, solution as it was 3 runs ago. As we continue forward, that now becomes a 997 system hanging off the far southwestern Gulf of Mexico. And this is starting to really tighten up as well. As we go forward, this batch of moisture goes into southern Texas, and that low still wandering in the western Gulf of Mexico. While this starts to really get its act together and start tightening up. Finally, that storm will go into Mexico with all the heavy rain going into south and southeastern Texas. While this we'll say this is storm 1. This is storm 2 with a 996 heading for east coast of Florida. And that makes landfall about 12 hours after this makes landfall. So we're going to have, there's possibility of 2 landfalling storms in the same day. This one looks to be around Jacksonville. And that will shoot inland and get caught up in the Bermuda High flow and race off to the northeast and away. While now this lingers around and starts to spin up another system and slowly moving north along the western Gulf of Mexico, from Mexico to South Florida. And then that finally goes into Mexico. and then plenty of tropical moisture spinning around, and then here's another plume that's going to get attached to this cold front to finally sweep everything out. So on this current model run, they have potentially two storms making landfall 12 hours apart. Right here. That one and that one. Um, Not going to guess which one's going to get named first. That remains to be seen, as this is totally different from what this showed the same time 2 runs earlier today. As they have the same moisture plume going into South Texas, but nothing out here. They have this thing coming up and smacking Louisiana in the face. Miles are having a hard time getting a grasp of what this mess in the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean are going to do. So what they have there, when I was reading, there's an anticyclonic low pressure system down in the Bay of Campeche, which means the winds around the low, which is a broad low, are going the opposite way that it usually goes. So instead of going counterclockwise, the winds are going clockwise around it. And that's what's picking this, hinting at this solution with a storm possibly going into Mexico as a weak tropical storm or a tropical depression. And then what really threw me was this area out here spinning up a storm and smacking Jacksonville in the face. Where did that come from? So the models are still having a hard time. So that was, I believe, the 20th. Well, that mess is supposed to happen. Yeah, we're 5 days out from this happening. So there's going to be a lot of back and forth with the modeling until we get a correct solution. Because this one was new. This is the second run that shows these two storms pretty much 12 hours apart hitting land. So that is all I have for you tonight. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And have a good night.